guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another play around with our Gosford green junk journal that we're making. As you can see, everything has just been piled here while I had to kind of just move it off to one side while I was doing some other stuff. So I just kind of clear the deck a little bit. So we have glued in quite a few of the pieces now. So our junk journal is really kind of taking shape here. So we have this page here left to do. So if I just kind of pop things down as I thought. Now I think we said we were going to have that down there. And I think we wondered about having the postcard sort of across the top with the doily running down the edge, I think was the plan in my mind, if I remember rightly. So I'll just kind of place a couple of bits around and see how we might, you know, finish that off to make it look really pretty. So I think what I'll do is, in the first instance, I'm just going to stick down the doily piece. So I'm just again using that 3-in-1 so it's not so flat to the page as it would be with a glue stick. So, oops, now I'm not even too sure whether that's coming out. And what did I say? I said, oh, I'll sort out my glue by the next episode. Clearly I haven't. Come on. Oh, come on. Very slow. It literally, when I touched it to sort of clear the end, it was out. Now it's no longer out. So, right, here we go. Not a very good start to the video, is it? So for anyone who's just joining me, we're just having a little bit of a play around here with the Gosford green physical kits that I had for sale in my Etsy for beginners. They're beginners junk journal kits. And they basically contained everything that you would need to make a junk journal except for these plain pages and whatever you were going to use as your binding, you know, your cover and your binding. So I'm just going to chop my postcard slightly because I don't know how straight that was. So all of these bits, the postcard, all of the sort of digis and things, the lace, the doilies, they all came in the physical kit. If you didn't manage to get a physical kit, of course you don't need to have that to be crafting along here. You can use just anything that you fancy using to create a similar journal. And if you do like the look of the colour scheme and the theme, you can purchase the digital version of the Gosford green kit in my Etsy. So obviously that wouldn't contain the things like the lace, it wouldn't contain like this stamped postcard, but it would contain all of the things like the journaling cards and any of the patterned background pages and things. I mean, again, obviously this is an entire series that I've done here, so it's all in a playlist, and if you wanted to kind of have a look, the whole thing's in the playlist, including obviously the you know, episode 1, which is basically the showing of what's in the kit. So if you wanted to have a look at that, that's all obviously in a playlist. Then I've got this journaling card, which I'm just going to pop here. It's going to be overlapping the postcard a bit. And I'm just going to pop it down on two sides so that that's a little tuck spot. So like that. We'll just pop that down like that. So I hope everyone's having a good day. It's hideous here. It's pouring with rain again. And every time I do a video lately, I'm saying it's pouring, it's really dark. That honestly is the truth. It seems to be always pouring and always really dark. So yeah, I'm not just saying it every time that I do a video. That is basically what's happening. So yeah, it's happening again. I'm just going to cut out a little flower, or maybe a couple of flowers actually. So I'll just cut that along there. Just horrible drab weather. And why does it always seem to rain, you know, when you come to do the school run? Just sometimes it can be dry the whole day. Clearly it hasn't been recently, but sometimes it can be dry the whole day, and then the second that it comes to do the school run, that's it. It's chucking it down again. But as I say, today it's, I mean, it's nowhere near school run time, but my goodness, is it raining. Might have just had a bit of a let up in the rain actually, because I can't actually hear it at the moment, but certainly it's been raining. Right, let's just cut this. Oops. There we go. So I'm just deciding which colour flower to have. Quite like the yellow, I think. I'm going to have this here, and we're going to just have that journaling card popped in there. So let me just pick up that ruffle, because it just dropped on the floor. It had only been there 2 seconds and already it had dropped off onto the floor. So I'm just wondering whether to have like a lot of ruffle, like here, or whether to just have a tiny bit down here. I think actually maybe a tiny bit. So I'm just going to trim that down. And I mean, I got a lot of lace left, so because I only actually cut a few strips down to make the ruffles, so I've got a lot of lace left. So if I want to make some more, then I can easily make some more ruffles, you know, with the remaining lace. Come on. Oops. And hopefully, you know, you can see now that sometimes, you know, when you make your pockets and what have you, they don't necessarily look anything much until you actually get them stuck into the journal, you know, maybe with a bit of lace or, you know, whatever else that you might want to have around, some bows or some bling. And that can just change the look. I mean, for instance, that postcard, it looks really nice, you know, with the flower. Oops, I have got a new tacky glue. Now, I have said a few times recently that I have been really disappointed with its gluing power, so I'm hoping that was a Duff bottle and that this one is going to be better. I'm slightly sceptical because the shop where I buy that glue, I always buy my cardstock from there as well. And weirdly, the 160 GSM cardstock that I have used now for, you know, like a year and a half, also is different. So I'm a little bit worried that they have changed the glue, that they've changed the cardstock. You know, I don't know whether they get them from the same supplier or, you know, I'm not sure, but I will be disappointed to say the least. Right, so there's that. Now we're going to have this one here, so we could again, what did I do with that other bit of ruffle? I dropped it on the floor again. I don't think so. Oh my goodness, what have I done with that? Oh, it's here. It's here all along. Right, this one goes very wide. I obviously made a terrible job of cutting that, so I'm just going to trim that down. Like that. And I might have it like that because I think that looks really pretty actually. So, oh, nearly glued it down onto the journaling card. So, just going to glue this down. And again, I'm just going to glue this, I think, as a tuck spot. So I'm going to glue it on just 2 sides, like that. Okay. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop some glue on here. Come on. I'm at that point where, because of my lamp, I can't really see whether that glue is coming out onto there or not. Oh, just sounds ridiculous. And, you know, you guys maybe can see it and it's maybe pouring out, but, you know, from my angle, I can't see because the light's like just glaring onto it. Right. So I like how that looks. It looks pretty. And then obviously we've got this journaling card that we're just going to pop in like that, just as a tuck spot. So that's that page there. Now this one, which is obviously our inside of the front cover, I can't decide whether to have it here or here. I'm finding something really, really, really lovely about it being on this side on top of that wallpaper. But then I need to decide what to have on this facing side. So I'm just going to have a look and see how my journal's shaping up, sort of, you know, fatness in terms of, you know, how thick and fat it's becoming. Did we do a count up of how many other pages we've got to decorate? Because this is how you can kind of gauge how much more you can get away with cramming in there. So we're done here. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 or 5 pages left to do. So I'm not going to glue this in just yet. What I'm going to do, I think, is make another couple of pieces and then we will decide, you know, exactly kind of what, or, you know, where we're going to go from there. So I've still got this paper that, don't ask me what is going on, but still I have been holding it. Oh, I'm going to actually cut into it now. Oh my gosh, this is just horrible. Don't want to cut it. So what I'm going to do is make one of those kind of pockets like what would come with one of the bigger kits. So I've got this one here from like my botanical ballroom kit, just to show you the type of thing I mean. So I'm going to just make something very similar. Now, obviously, if you don't have one of these to make this type of pocket, all you have to do, if I show you, is cut basically, it's not really a square, but a sort of rectangle, but not too thin, if that makes sense. Obviously, as you know, I don't measure. So even though I've used that as a slight template, I haven't kind of used it as a concrete guide, if that makes sense. So that's my basis for this. And then all you're going to do is chop your triangles, and actually should have done that, and then they're the same size triangles like that. And then it's up to you really, but you could just start by folding in the bottom. So we fold the bottom up, and then you just want to meet your corners there. So we'll just fold that one there. Just looking around to see if I can see my bone folder anywhere. I don't very often use it, but I'll try and be professional and use it this time. And this one here. And you're just going to basically press them down. If you haven't got a bone folder, that's fine. Use your scissor handle, or, you know, your nails or your fingers. It's all fine. And that's it. That's your little bulky pocket. So then to glue it down, you're just going to glue it on your, you know, your folding thingy majigglies. So it kind of resembles this one here. So I'll just move that one out of the way. Okay. So obviously I'm not going to leave that like that. Heaven forbid that we would just leave it undecorated. So again, let me just go through what I've got here to the side. Oops. Knocking things into the bin as I go. So I've got a lady here. Got some more of the book page. It's got some tickets which didn't come with the kit, so let me move those out of the way. I've got some more of the sheet music. So just trying to decide really what looks best on here. We've also got still some more of the some more of the wallpaper. So just kind of tear that down. Could have her like that, and then a bit of lace going across at the top. She might be a bit small for that pocket, so I might have to save her for a tag or something, to be honest. I'm just having a look to see. That might be quite nice on there. Let's have a look. So I've got this journaling card. Just cut that down. Oops. Like that. Okay. If we would have that on there like that somehow. Let me just see what else I've got here. All my stuff has become so messy now because I've been doing other things kind of at the same time as doing this. My stuff's got very, you know, mixed up, which is a bit of a shame because I was really good when I did the Flights of Fancy kit, and I managed to keep it all pretty separate. And I don't know quite what's happened here, but I've managed to get in a bit of a mess. And obviously I was trying to keep everything really separate because, you know, I'm literally only trying to use the things that you would have got in the kit. So, you know, it's quite important that I've kept things separate, really. So, unfortunately, I have just let myself down. Could have maybe some more wallpaper. What do you guys think? Let me just pull in a sheet of white paper to be able to ink my bits up on. Not that I'm especially protecting the paper underneath for any particular reason, except to keep it clean so that when I'm doing other videos I haven't got to constantly be swapping it out. So that's that. And again, I think I'd said before, I'm using walnut stain here because I couldn't actually get the vintage photo the other day, so I'm using the walnut stain, but I quite like it actually. I have used it before, but it was a really long time ago, and I found it obviously very dark. But you know, for the junk journals, I'm quite liking it. I quite like that. Maybe this wasn't the right piece. So actually, I'm just going to cut out this sort of label frame type piece, because maybe I would rather have that. Or maybe I would rather have a fabric piece. Might be nice. Quite like that, or got my fabric here. Oh, I don't think that's quite big enough now. Right, let's ink this up. Like that. Yeah, I quite like that. Let's just crack on, otherwise I'll be here all day kind of, shall I, shan't I, you know, should I put that there? So let's just commit and go for it. So I'll pop this on here and just press it down with my dried wet wipe. Okay, and then take this piece here. Pop that down there. Again, just smooth that out. Excuse me. I seem to have a bit of a cold now. It's just that time of year, unfortunately. trying to decide whether I want this with any lace kind of poking out. I mean, I always love lace, to be honest. Oh, I can't decide now. I've got obviously the bling, which always makes things look nice. So let's just snip a bit of that off. Like that. So for instance, if we were to have the butterfly there or here, let's take the clock off. And we could have the lace trim across the top. You can't really see that lace trim, to be honest. It kind of blends right in. So maybe we'll have that. Okay, so let's just pop this down. And actually, we could pop this down just with glue on 3 sides. And then this is a little, you know, double pocket, if that makes sense. Because then you'd have a pocket here and a pocket there. Which that's always fun to do, isn't it? So should have inked that butterfly up, but never mind. There we go. And then I'll just pop that bling on the centre of that butterfly. She says if she can get the glue out. Oh gosh, come on. Oh, this is so frustrating. I don't know why this one's struggling to come out so much. It's pretty much a new bottle. Oops, come on. Okay. So, where have I put my dry wipe now? There it is. Just press that down. Okie dokie. So that's that. And then obviously you've got this as a pocket here as well, which is really nice. So what I might do is leave that and not actually finish it off with the lace until we pop it into the book, because we might then, you know, do something slightly different with that. So I'm going to just leave it as is, and then we'll, you know, we'll come back to that one. So again, I'm just going to pop that to one side. Now, I said we were going to add in an extra sheet of the wallpaper, which I have done. So this is that here. And again, what I thought we'd do is just make one of those little fold over pockets, because I just really love them. They're just so quick and easy, to be honest, that, you know, I really do like them. Now I'm just wondering whether I would be better off doing it this way. Yeah. So, I mean, these are cut approximately at an A4 size. You know, not precise, obviously, but approximate. Okay. And so all I'm going to do is, you know, and I have got a tutorial for these pockets, and just then fold it over like that, which actually, because I cut that at such a silly angle, I'm better off doing it this way round. So I'm going to do it like that instead. Okay, so you just fold in your first piece here, and then you're just going to fold in your other piece. Okay. So again, if you've got a bone folder, you can use that to press your creases in. You don't have to. I'm just going to neaten that up there. Oops. And again, I mean, obviously I can neaten that up further once I've glued it together, but I will glue it now because that stops it moving around and just makes it slightly easier to work with. So just going to glue down this flap here. And as I say, I have got a tutorial where we kind of do these pockets in slower time, if you wanted to see them. Okay. And then we'll do the other one. Okay. Oops. Like that. And then all we're going to do is then fold our top bit over there. So just going to glue down here on those sides like that. Okie dokie. So press them down. That's it. And then leave them to dry. Right, I have to go off and do some stuff now. So what I'm going to do is kind of stop the video here and then come back and do it either later today or tomorrow, but I will join the videos together because obviously, yeah, I've only been filming for like 25 minutes. So I will be back once I've done my couple of chores. So see you guys soon. Right, I'm back, everybody. I didn't know whether I would get back in time today to do a bit more, but I've managed to get back. So, right, we had made this little foldy, you know, deep pocket there. So I'm just going to ink that up before I do anything else. So I'm just inking it round, and then obviously we will decorate it and pop some bits and pieces on there. So again, obviously I've got some doily. Just pop some doily on there, I think, like that. And actually what else we haven't used, there were some stamped items. I'm just wondering whether we could use, sorry, you picked up my dry wipe there. Just wondered whether we could use the dry wipe. So this frame out. I really love this craft coloured card. I always call it buff card, but I think it actually is probably called craft coloured card. But I love this colour, always have done for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, it's a bit like a paper bag colour, but there's just something really nice about it, and I just think it looks great with every single thing. So just cut that like that. Okay, I don't know whether this would look any good on there. Oh, those frames just look amazing wherever you put them. That's my opinion, but you guys might not really agree, but I just think wherever you put them, they look really cool. So yeah, just never fails as far as I'm concerned. It always looks awesome. Right, let me get my 3-in-1, which I just that second unclogged before I switched the camera back on, and already it's all gloopy and horrible again. Right, but I did you know, clog it because I had obviously, I just poked a hole, you know, through the that peely layer thing that you peel off to use the glue. I just like poked a hole through it, and that was how I was using the glue. So I thought, actually, I'm going to re-poke the hole, because obviously that was where the clog up was going on. That was why it wasn't really wanting to come out at all. So it's better now. There we go. To me, I just think that looks awesome. I don't even think it needs anything else. I don't know what it is with that craft card, but wow, I really do love it. Okay, so I ink up the butterfly, and we will pop the butterfly on somewhere. Now, do I want it at the top, or, I mean, I really quite like it at the bottom, but then I feel it's a bit silly because the top is kind of effectively bare. So just pop a bit more glue on the top like that. And again, I'm just going to finish that little butterfly off with a bit of bling. And actually, just before I do that, there was some pearl trim also included in the kit. So I suddenly thought, actually, the pearl might look nicer. Oh, now I've lost it, obviously, in amongst all my rubbish here. I've been trying so hard to keep it all separate. Oh, that's too big anyway. It's too big, so we'll go with the bling. There we go. Really like how that looks. So I'm just going to pop that again to one side so that I've got a bit more room here. So the next item, nearly forgot about, we've got the glassine. I mean, I'm calling it a bag. It's really kind of an envelope because it's actually got this, you know, self-adhesive seal bit. I'm not going to use it like that. So what I'm going to actually do is take my zigzag scissors and I'm just going to cut across the top of it so that it just works like a bag instead of an envelope. Yeah, instead of an envelope. And then we haven't used any of the vellum paper yet. So I'm just going to take a portion of that and check which section I would like. So I think probably this one. So I'm just going to tear that down. I mean, I just really like torn edges, but of course you could just cut it instead. But I do like the sort of ruggedness of the torn edges. So I'm just going to tear that across. Oops. Now I've torn that bird completely off from the side. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on there. Now I'm just wondering whether I want a little bit of lace or something. So just going to have a look. And actually we've got those words, which, again, where have they disappeared to, I wonder? Oh gosh, this is just very annoying. This is why when you're filming a series, you should just film it quickly. Because obviously what's happened, I've been filming a bit of this, filming a few mask making workshops, filming some you know, 3 and 30s, and obviously what's happened now is where I have filmed all these different things, I've had to keep on moving my stuff up and down, up and down, up and down. So now I've lost half of my pieces. So the pieces this time are, I can't find the words. Oh, here we go. Right, okay. So let's just take off, well, we'll just go to the next word in the list, I think. So treasured. Just tear that down. Okay. And just ink that around. So if I were to have that on there, and then I'm just thinking a bit of just lace up the side. So really kind of simple, nothing, you know, elaborate or anything like that going on. I'm going to try and glue this down, I think, with just my tacky glue. And I'm just going to try and go in sort of darker patches that hopefully will disguise the glue a little bit. So I'll just, oops, pop that down like that. Okay. Now this is where again I'm thinking that tacky glue is not quite the same as it was, because it's not seeming to want to stick down particularly well. So I'll just hold it down in place for a few seconds and maybe that will help it along. I don't mind, you know, if it's actually, you know, it is sticking, but just you have to hold it for a few minutes. My worry is that it's not actually sticking as well, so I hope I'm wrong. Right, I've got my treasured word here, so I'm just going to snip that lace. And again, I'm just going to snip that like header bit off, and then my one has got this triangular shape, so I'm just going to get rid of that because obviously I don't want it looking like that. And then I'm just going to literally glue that down there to the side. So really cute. Okay, so we'll pop the lace trim on here. Like that. And then the word. stuck on me. There we go. So really pretty, and obviously we've got that nice crunchy sound too. Right, let me check how much time I have got. Oh, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So I'm pretty sure I ended that other one at 25 or something. So it must be up for about 35 minutes. So that's not too bad. So I'm just going to pull the journal back in. And then what I did was I sort of tentatively placed the pieces where we might have them. So again, I was going to have this envelope, you see, on this front cover, but actually I might just have this pocket that we made on there. I just love something with the that wallpaper. It looks really awesome. So I might just have it like that. Let's just check. Just double check the way round that I want the items. Or do we prefer it that way round? That's that way. I'm just going to look through the lens because, again, I know I've said this loads of times, but sometimes it looks completely different when you look down on it. I don't know now. What was the other bit that we just made? Oh, we made this pocket, the wallpaper pocket here. So I will just double check. Oh, that might be better. What do you guys think? Yeah, I quite like it like that, actually. So complete U-turn there of what my plan had been all along. So I'm just going to just trim this little pocket piece down a bit. Not for size, but just so that I've straightened up the edges slightly. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop that on. Oops, I'll just pop it on with the 3-in-1, I think. Like that. Okay, so I think probably the next video we will be making the tags and, you know, things to tuck in. I'm pretty sure. Even if we end up, we've got, you know, 1 or 2 pages left, I think, you know, we will end up moving on to making bits and bobs to tuck in and pull out. So that's quite exciting. Seem to have got there quite quickly. I say that, I mean, obviously that's because I've been filming other things in between. So I might just have this piece of lace here. So not a ruffle, but just a little strip just going across the side. And also you'll see I have made a hash of cutting that, so it's not straight at all. So by just popping that lace down, it's just disguising that a little bit. So I'll just pop that lace down there. Like that. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, so I like that. Now I don't think I've inked the inside of the front cover, so I'm just going to just ink all around that now. Don't want it too dark, but just a little bit. So, like that. Okay. Okie dokie. And then we're going to pop our pocket on here, and then I think I'd like some of the fabric ruffle, but not the lace. So just check I've got that the right way up. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it like that. So again, just stick our pocket down, and I'm just literally gluing on those flaps, you know, that we folded up. So like that. Okie dokie. Press that down. So it's just into place there. Oops. almost glued the thread into there. And then we're going to just have this piece running down on the edge. So again, you know, you can probably see it's sticking on me. It's very thready. So I'm just going to see if I've got one that's a better length, because that one's actually really long. So let's just... It's really hard to see what's the right way and what's the wrong way on this when the lamp is on. So just putting it to the side to sort of see. Right, so we've got that piece there. Oh, is that one? Oh, look, perfect length, perfect. That's handy. Okay, so I'm just going to now trim off the threads. I don't mind some threads. I know I say this all the time. I don't mind some threads, but we don't want quite as many. So I'll just trim those down. Okay. Okie dokie, right. So that's our fabric ruffle there, and I'm just going to sort of put it at a bit of a curve, but not too much. So I'm just going to pop the glue straight onto the paper. Can you hear those birds? I don't know whether you can hear those, but it sounds like I'm literally at the beach. I'm not. I don't know whether it's seagulls out there, but there we go. I don't know why they're out there if they're seagulls, but there we go. So love how that looks. Really, really pretty. Okay. Let me check the time. I can't actually see now the time. Right, now what was the other piece that I had to put in? Oh, the paper bag. The one we just did. Where has that gone? And actually, now I've got this one as well. What did I do with the paper bag? I've now lost it. Oh, come on. Laura, if you're watching, what have I done with it? There it is. Honestly, what is wrong with me? Okay. Now, so I'm just checking where I want this, because I've got, you know, a handful of kind of undecorated pages. So it's just balancing it out, really, deciding where I'd want things and where I don't mind having them plain. So maybe here. Just quickly have another look at that one. Right, so perhaps I'll have that there. And then do we want this one here or here? Maybe here. So this paper bag, I'm just going to pop on there. I'm just going to put maybe a bit of doily kind of poking out behind it. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? So, oh, again, just apply some glue. Okie dokie. Just like that, and then just press that down. And then I'm just going to pop the bag on as a little kind of tuck spot. So I'm just going to glue it on two sides like that. Pop that down like that. Okay. Now, I'm just wondering whether I wanted to have any ruffle or lace. I just can't bear it when it looks too plain. I mean, we could have something up there. So what I'm going to do is just cut this fabric ruffle down. Let's cut some of those threads off because they're very long. Okay. So we can either have it at the bottom or at the top. I think I quite like it at the top, you know. Yeah, let's have it at the top. Nice to mix it up. We don't that often put them at the top. So just glue that down. Okay. Okay, so can you see that this ruffle, I mean, it's literally, you know, ruffled upon ruffle, if that makes sense. It's not stuck straight or anything like that. I like them like that. I mean, I realise not everybody would, but, you know, to me, that looks really pretty. So, you know, don't feel that you have to get your ruffles kind of all straight and nice, because I think they sometimes look quite cool when they're actually, you know, completely at an angle. And I might just pop that bit of pearl trim there. So let's just glue that down. There we go. Oops, come on. Oh, come on. Oh. It's just stuck on me constantly. Not stuck on the fabric at all, just on me. There we go. How pretty does that look? Yeah, I love that. Okay, so 21 minutes, right. Probably got just enough time to now pop this page in. Oh, look at that. Can you see all those threads there? It's just covered in them now. So we'll just pop this book page, not book page, sorry, envelope pocket down. Which we could use like the remainder of that ruffle. Look at those threads now. Was it as bad as that just now, or has it just got worse? I don't think it had that many threads. I think it's got worse, definitely. Definitely got worse. Let's just trim them off. Okay. Do we want it like that, or we've got this lace trim here. Don't think we've really used that much of this one, so let's just cut that down. Just put that there like that. It's quite understated, this one, so we'll just pop a bit of that down. Okie dokie. Pop that like that. Glue it down. Okay, and then we're just going to pop our pocket just kind of on top, and I'm going to probably have this as a side loading pocket as well, so we'll just glue it down like this. Okay, gorgeous, really pretty. Okay, so I'll just press that down, make sure it's properly stuck. Okay, love it. Looks really nice. Sorry, I'm just holding it down because it's not quite stuck. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's probably enough for today, and yeah, I hope that you'll join me next time, where we will obviously start working on all of our little bits and bobs that we're going to pop into the journal. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you'll join me soon for another one. So thanks very much. Bye.